then you were quite complimentary of Governor Palin. In other words, saying this is the ticket. It's not just John McCain. It's Governor Palin, too. I like the whole package.
Well, look, like everybody else, I'm just getting to know Governor Palin. I mean, I never knew her before. I met her 2 days ago here. But John McCain is my candidate for president. He selected her. That's the first thing. Second, as I said last night, and what I wanted to point out, I think Senator McCain, in selecting Governor Palin as his running mate, is highlighting a fundamental part of his political record and his character, which is that he's a reformer. He has no patience for a government that's not working or a political system that's being foolishly partisan. And that's her record. She's fought the power establishment in the Republican Party in Alaska.
So you would prefer her over someone like Senator Biden, who you've known probably for decades?
Yeah, look, I prefer the ticket. I have great... John McCain was really looking to open a door and bring some fresh air from Alaska into Washington, which needs fresh air. From that experience, incidentally, I have a sense of what Sarah Palin is thinking about tonight. Somebody said to me when I got the nomination, there'll be 3 moments in this campaign when you're going to matter. Your announcement, and I think she did very well at that, your acceptance speech, that's the challenge tonight, and the debate. And the rest of the time, this...
then you go into a bunker, I guess.
Yeah, well, they say, well, let's hope you get local news coverage when you go around the country. That's what they said.
But finally, you're not concerned about any ill will, and that you know, you expect to be treated respectfully by your party?
I really don't know, honestly. And what I'm really saying, Neil, is that to me, electing John McCain as our next president is honestly more important than that, and I'm going to let that take care of itself when we get there.
What do you make of that there, I'm sorry, Geraldine, that there is enormous pressure on the governor, maybe not to the degree that there was with Geraldine Ferraro, but for the Republicans this is a first, so that does mean that either she addresses all of this stuff or she ignores it and charges on with a Buffalo speech. What do you think?
Oh, I think obviously she wants to do her very best tonight. I think everybody is waiting to see her performance. But if she'll do something close to what she did in Dayton, Ohio last week when she was first introduced, she's going to do great. I thought she was very articulate. She was, you know, obviously very capable and committed. Tough is the one word I would ascribe to her. But like Geraldine, there's pressure on her. But I think she's going to rise to the occasion, Neil.
Do you think, Senator, that she should address some of these family concerns that have come out, or she rise above it and not go tit for tat, talk about big issues, talk about drilling, talk about how she is a maverick governor and leave all the other stuff alone?
Yeah, I think she should rise above it, actually. There are a lot of big issues. People want to get to know her. They want to know her positions. They want to know what she really cares about. And we can't say, you know, leave our children alone and then have her introduce it. I just don't think this would be the right time or place to focus on that.
Geraldine, your family became a focus. It happens with candidates, male or female. Of course, you got more than your fair share of that. Is it going to happen to Governor Palin? Does it just come with the turf?
You know, I think with reference to her personally, you know, and her husband, I think looking at people who have jobs, and John was the first spouse who had a business outside of sitting there and looking adoringly at the husband as he was running. I think that's legitimate, looking into those things, because it's been done with Hillary Clinton as a professional spouse, Michelle Obama as a professional spouse. That's all fine.
Okay.
With the children, I think the children are off limits, and it's unfortunate that this young girl is in the national and international spotlight about a problem that she is now having to deal with.
We shall see. Thank you both very, very much. We got Mitt Romney here. He's going to pick apart what we can expect to see tonight. A lot more after this, including some Hillary women who are rallying around this ticket.
You know, the Republicans are getting galvanized, but what is going to go on among the independents and the swing voters who are watching this drama either on their television sets or reading about it in their newspapers? And that we won't know until it completely plays out. Voters will either have a view that she was treated fairly or she was treated unfairly, and they'll react accordingly.
Now, Carl, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, now put it back in. Okay, here's my question. We get some emails about you saying, you know, you criticized Barack Obama for not having foreign policy credentials, and now you've come to the defense of Sarah Palin. Have you been inconsistent? Why do you see a distinction in their two situations?
Yeah. Look, I see a difference between a president and a vice president. The president has a bigger responsibility. The presidential candidate has a bigger responsibility to have a wide range of abilities, both foreign and domestic. Vice presidents don't, in my opinion, don't have to have the same qualifications as a president, particularly in this year in which we have a Democratic presidential candidate who lacks foreign policy experience, and it seems to me to be problematic for him to be criticizing the Republican vice presidential running mate for lacking that kind of experience. The Democrats continue to do things like Barack Obama's attack yesterday, where he said, well, I've got more executive experience than she does. She was the mayor of a small town with 50 employees and a $12 million budget, and I'm running a campaign with 2,500 employees and spending several hundred millions of dollars. Well, that's going to be ultimately seen as unfair, because that skips over the fact that she's the governor of a state with an $11 billion operating budget, a $1.7 billion capital expenditure budget, and 29,000 employees. Those kind of attacks, if they're continued, will at the end of the day make this a positive for the Republicans. But a lot rides on her speech tonight, no doubt about it.
Jack Kemp was Bob Dole's running mate back in 1996, and the former Republican New York congressman and NFL quarterback is my guest now. How are you, sir? Good evening to you.
Good, Bill. How are you and Megan?
I'm terrific, thank you, and thank you for your time tonight.
Glad to be
what do
here.
you specifically remember from your challenge that night 12 years ago?
Well, what an awesome experience, what an honor, and how exciting it is to walk out on that platform and speak to the delegates, and just as importantly, speak to the whole country. So I was thrilled, my family was, and I'm excited for Governor Palin. I think she's going to hit the ball out of the park, to use a baseball metaphor as an old football player. And it says a lot about John McCain, his loyalty, his integrity, and his ability to perceive in a woman the type of qualities that can make such a great vice presidential candidate for the Republican Party.
You know, when you think about her challenge tonight, what does she need to accomplish? You know, people that say she got to hit it out of the park, or she just got to get on base. What does that mean?
Well, I think I'd skip the metaphors right now and just say, number one, show her integrity, her capability, and her toughness. She is a terrific governor. She's got a great record in the state of Alaska, beautiful family, and her loyalty to John and the values and ideals and principles for which he stands, I think, are going to make her a tremendously credible candidate for the Republican Party.
Now, I'm honored to say just a word about the great lady that John McCain has selected as his running mate. Governor Palin, like John McCain, is a reformer. She's taken on the special interest and the political power brokers in Alaska and reached across party lines to get things done. The truth is, she is a leader we can count on to help John shake up Washington. That's why I sincerely believe that the real ticket for change this year is the McCain-Palin ticket. Let me tell you, friends, that the Washington bureaucrats and the power brokers are not going to be able to build a pen that will hold in these two mavericks. It's just not possible. Together, I think we can count on John and Sarah to fight for America and to fight for you, the American people. And that's what our country needs most right now.